It finished Nottingham Forest 0-0 in old money. West Ham United 3.
Oh, Irons.
You were there?
Get in there.
You
Get
were
in there. Yes.
No sleep, up and down the M1 and whatever. Yeah. How you feeling? Did you enjoy
I'm
it?
knackered. Get out, mate. Honestly, I'm buzzing. I'm tired. I got about 3 hours sleep last night. Travelled up to Nottingham this morning. Had a really, really good day. Honestly, it was such a good day today. Met up with loads of the boys down there. You know, Danny Boy, Welsh Johnny, Charlie, and all those boys. It was a great day. A really, really great day. And mate, 3-0, clean sheet. Fantastic atmosphere. I mean, what more can you ask? What more can you ask, mate? And Paqueta's staying, mate. Paqueta is staying. Well, he has firmly put his stake in the ground to say, I am not going anywhere. So Sullivan will hate that. It's been unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You know what? Sullivan lost on a couple of occasions. I mean, there's that. And secondly, Callum Wilson not only started a game, but scored a goal. Right? That is double bubble bonuses, right? That is full pay for Callum Wilson this week, and he fucking earned it as well. He was brilliant.
Oh, he did.
So
he did.
Lionel Wilson, I'm going to call him Linnell Wilson, right? So we'll come to that. We'll come to the game in a minute. Good evening, everybody in the chat, and everybody who's watching, not in the chat. Hope you had a good day like we did today, because that was something out of the ordinary, I think, especially at Forest. I mean, that we tend to get dumped there since they've been back in the Premier League. We've been trounced several times, haven't we? So I had that down personally. I thought we were going to go there and lose like we usually do. But no, that didn't happen. That didn't happen, let me tell you. It was a completely different formation, wasn't it? A completely different formation. In fact, we'll come to the game in a minute. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please could you subscribe to the Bobby Moore Stand here on YouTube. Give the video a like and hit the bell notification icon. We'll come to some latest transfer updates right at the very end, but that's less important than the main part of the show, which is talking about a very rare win and our first 3 points of the season, which is so welcome. I feel like a weight's been lifted off my chest, to be honest. It's like I was prepared to do another miserable show, Chris. Don't know about you.
Mate, I'll tell you what, right? So I was feeling a bit apprehensive about it before the game, and I think this is partially why I didn't sleep very well last night, because I don't know, I had a bit of a headache, but I was thinking about the game. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when I know I'm going to get up early and I'm going to make a long drive to an away game, I'm thinking, I don't know, it's on my mind and I can't sleep. And I was thinking about the game and I was thinking we're going to get, dumped or whatever. But I must admit, when I saw the lineup and I could see, typically how we were going to play with that lineup, with the back four, I was thinking, do you know what? I fancy us. And no word of a lie, Gal. You know my usual prediction. I say 3-1. I said to Fred 3-1. I said to some of the boys 3-1 today. Marginally, I got it wrong.
Nearly.
Yeah. I know.
I went for, without seeing the formation, I went for a 2-1 defeat, believe it or not.
Okay.
Now, this is really out of character for me, because I very rarely predict West Ham lose, no matter who they play against. But last couple of games, I did predict a loss against Chelsea, and I predicted a loss today just because I've been to Forest before, and it's been a thankless task since they've been back in the Premier League. It's a tight little ground. It can be quite a noisy crowd, but they were quietened completely today. They were quite silent, weren't they? They weren't very noisy on telly. Were they noisy in the ground?
Well, West Ham.
Forest. Is all we could hear was West
Forest.
Ham.
Look, I mean, yeah. I was going to say, no. So, in fairness, I mean, Forest started singing right at the very beginning. When the whistle goes with their little, their little song, whatever they sing. I don't know what it is. And then after that, look, mate, it was all West Ham. They were silent, mate, absolutely silent. There was nothing from them all game, absolutely nothing. It was all West Ham, mate. As was the result, mate. All West Ham.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that elephant is the celebration from Lucas Paqueta after the goal. Now, I just listened to, he left it, he must have practiced that before the game, because he left it in no uncertain terms what he meant by that. They were watching it on TalkSport, and I just listened to it back. And if you can get the replay, because they do watch-alongs on TalkSport. I don't listen to them usually, but they had a couple of belting games on. They had Brighton beating City and us, right? And they were getting really excited in the studio. And when Paqueta scored that penalty, and he scored the penalty, he said, great penalty. And he's walked over, he's done the celebration. They've gone, oh! He said, it's like he's picked up the phone, said no thanks, thrown the phone away, and then kissed his badge, right? It's just like, there was no way anybody could misinterpret that celebration, right? I like to think,
mate, like I said, he's here to stay. He's put his stake in the ground.
You want him to play for Aston who?
No. Gal, it was literally right in front of me, yeah, like right in front of me. And when he did that, it was almost like, I don't know, that goal meant everything to me because,
Yeah.
do you know what? He's a bit, look, come on, he's a maverick. He's got charisma. He's one of the players at West Ham. I don't want to see him go. We know he's got so much to offer West Ham. I know he's been a bit on and off, over the last couple of years, but we know the reasons why. I would have been gutted if he was going to leave. But now, I mean, even if Sullivan wanted him to go, he can't because he knows it's going to be all on him if he does. Paqueta wants to stay at West Ham, and that's all I heard anyway, Gal. That's all I've been hearing anyway. From various people from the last month or so. He does not want to leave West Ham. He wants to stay. He wants to fight, and he wants to prove a point now. I think to the fans about actually, we're going to see the real Paqueta this season. And I'll tell you what, mate. Today he was fucking outstanding, absolutely outstanding. He really was.
He really was
exceptional.
He really was, and that is the how can I say the bastard, that's the version of Paqueta that we really want to see, the bad bastard.
Gal, I can't hear you, mate. I don't know if it's just me.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you at all. It's completely silent.
Oh, tell me.
It might, unless it's something wrong my end, but I can't hear him. I don't know if anyone else.
Chat, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
If they have, then I'll come out.
Because if you can hear me in the chat, then
can someone say in the chat if they can hear Gary? Or
can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, chat. This is Gary.
No, it's just me. All right. Do you know what, Gal? I'm going to leave and I'll be back.
Leave and come back. Yeah.
You leave and I'll come back.
Yeah. Okay. Chris has these technical problems all the time. He needs to sort it out. He needs to sort it out. Yeah. I think that. I mean that was just such a breath of fresh air. It was so beautiful because we've been reading. I've been away for a few days with my wife and been reading all the gossip and everything else, and people writing Paqueta off and saying, "Oh, good riddance" and all that sort of stuff. It's as if they took it for granted that was coming out of his mouth. It clearly wasn't coming out of his mouth. It was being parroted by people at the club, though, right? Because that was coming out of the official sources about he really wants to leave. Well, he doesn't, does he? So that was bullshit. So I think that little game has backfired. If that was one of Sullivan's games, I'm not going to have a go at Sullivan this week because he has started to back the manager. He hasn't finished backing the manager yet, but he's made progress, and that is what we said at the beginning. That's all we wanted. We wanted the manager to get some players. And I thought, before we start talking about the goals and everything else, let's talk about some individual contributions. And I think there was none bigger than Matheus Fernandes, who didn't look like a new player, did he? I mean, He just settled into that midfield and started going into biting tackles, and his passing was neat and tidy. He wriggled out of tight spaces. He tried a couple of little ball carries, got fouled quite a lot. He was right in the middle of the action, wasn't he?
Well, it's like he'd been at West Ham all his life. He just fitted in seamlessly, didn't he? He really did. I thought he was exceptional. Just got on with his job with relative ease, if I'm being honest with you. But it was so nice to see someone with a bit of energy in the middle of the park, someone breaking up play, someone getting involved, putting in the challenges, spraying passes. I thought he was really good today. He really was. And, fair play to the guy because he's been at West Ham for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and he's already put in a performance like that. I think that speaks volumes of the type of player he is.
I think he signed just in time for the Friday lunchtime, which is when he had to be registered to play this weekend. So he's just literally come in and got on with his work, and it made all the difference. I agree with you. I mean, there was one time in that Paqueta he's got this habit of trying a ball, it don't come off, he gives the ball away. He did that once. I think in the second half, Fernandes just went and got the ball back. Right, it's just like that's what they've got to be doing. That's one example of how today they were fighting for each other, and we have not seen that at all. It's like if someone makes a mistake, they just let it go. So can you hear me? Oh, he's gone quiet now. Oh God, Chris has got technical problems. Yes, so he's going to leave again. Or is he? Chris, I can't hear you, mate. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Mate, apologies, right? So just to put some context around this, Fred's got about 10 of his mates around at the minute, and they've all taken over my man cave, so I'm not in my usual place, so my connections might be a bit iffy. I'm on the 3rd floor of my house right now. So if it's a bit unstable, that's on me.
Fred's entitled to celebrate, though, because I went up to Sunderland with him, didn't I? And that was a grim day out. That was a really grim day out. So it's nice that he got a good away day, because you ain't had many, have you, between you? You've been to loads.
Mate, I'll tell you what, recently it's getting better for me. It's definitely getting better for me because what's my last away day was Ipswich. It was the last game of the season. I didn't go to Sunderland because I was fucking jet lagged. Freddie did though. But yeah, mate, I think we're on a bit of a run now, to be fair, on a run. And I've got to say one thing as well, because I didn't vlog today. I was thinking about it. I didn't vlog. And I'm just wondering whether or not this is kind of like a thing now.
It's nothing
mate,
to do with
I'm
it.
thinking it might be because I had a really good day, and I was thinking maybe me not vlogging is getting us results. I don't know. You know, it just kind of felt
superstition,
like that.
Chris. Too much superstition. But let's go back. I think let's just walk again. We'll go through the goals after, but let's go through the performances before we do that. I mean, it was lovely to see Herman get a clean sheet, wasn't it, in goal?
Yeah, I mean, look, he didn't really have much to do. Let's be honest. I mean, there was a few crosses that he had to deal with, in fairness, but in terms of actual shots on goal, he didn't have a great deal to do. But I think that will do in the world of the world of good. You know, do his confidence know him, because I think after the conceding 8 goals, whatever it is in these 2 games. I mean, Christ Almighty, his confidence must have been shot. But to come away with a clean sheet today, against Forest, fantastic. And he had a very good game. He looked composed.
He was tidy, wasn't he? He was tidy. Yeah. He caught everything he had to catch. He punched everything he had to punch. He was good on the floor in the first half, where he spent quite a lot of he saw quite a lot of the ball in the first half, didn't he, on the floor? And he got pressured a few times as well, getting balls up. So yeah, good performance. I thought the magnificent Dinos Dunkapanos, the new Lewis Dunk, the Greek Lewis Dunk, who started and probably worth 25-30 million now, Chris, after that performance. I think you're fine. He was imperious, and so was Kilman, to be fair. Kilman made one fuck up, which was letting Chris Woods have a free header, but it was quite a difficult ball for him to get any leverage on, to be fair. But he was almost perfect, Kilman, and I think Mavropanos was absolutely perfect. I don't think he did anything wrong at all.
I think on that note, Gal, when you talk about that partnership, and you're right, Mavropanos was exceptional today. He really was. I mean, he put his head on everything, right? I mean, even on the set pieces, right? They were always aiming for him at the far post. He was always getting the headers on, right? But I think him and Kilman playing in that back 4, I think that's no surprise to me. We can't play with a back 5 or 3-5. We can't do that anymore. And I think that flat back 4 today proved it. Kilman looks better in a back 4 than he does in a back 3. It's as simple as that. He does.
Well, he looks like he can defend. He looks like he's contributing to it as well. And I think before we come to who I think is the star man of defence, Diouf was brilliant in terms of organising as for set pieces. He's very vocal, Diouf. He seems to be a little bit of a leader, Diouf. I like him. Don't shut up. He don't shut up. He was telling everybody where to go for the corners, right? He was organising everybody. And then, but the one who made all, as well as Mavropanos, the one that made all the difference was Kyle Walker-Peters, who was outstanding. He was tenacious. He was intelligent. He anticipated things. Danger. He's fast. He can pass the ball. He linked up quite well with Bowen down the right, which is unusual because usually Bowen steps aside and lets Wan-Bissaka go past, doesn't he?
Did you see Gal when Callum Hudson-Odoi went 1-on-1 with Walker-Peters, and Walker-Peters just took him out and had an absolute clean tackle? Loved that. I think it was in the first 5 or 10 minutes, and he went down like flying. I think he was trying to call for a penalty there, Hudson-Odoi, but it's part of dog shit.
There was another one where he was trying to get a penalty as well, and that was where he clearly got his foot to the ball inside the box. But that's the only way they were going to score today, because Forest were limited. This is what I like. Forest were limited to Hollywood passes because we were so tight and compact.
Well, that's the thing, though. But we've known this for a while, about playing the flat back 4. We just look like more of a unit, more of a cohesive unit. Had much more structure, more discipline. We just look much more comfortable with that flat back 4. Potter would be, he would be crazy to change it now. He would be absolutely crazy to change it. I think the only thing that you do notice as a result of playing the flat back 4 is we didn't really have a great deal of width going forward, right? We didn't, because the youth was dropping back, Kyle Walker-Peters was dropping back, and then I know we'll come on to this later on, but you could see the difference it made when suddenly you've got an attacking threat coming from the wings, i.e. Somerville, who came on, that made all the difference, right? So
big time.
But when you play that system, though, Gal, it does restrict you a little bit, in the final thirds, particularly on the flanks. But you know what? I think Potter, he got it spot on today. You got to give credit where it's due. He got it spot on, and his substitutions 100%. As well were absolutely perfect. They were. They were game-changing substitutions. In fairness,
perfectly timed as well. Perfectly timed as well. I thought, because we could see. The one disappointment as a performance today had to be Fulkrug. He could not hold the ball up. His passing went astray all the time. Every time the defence in the first half, especially when we were under pressure, every time defence needed a little bit of respite, it went up the pitch to Fulkrug, He tried to round the corner or a first-time pass and give the ball straight back to him. A couple of times launched a counter-attack. It's ridiculous. You've got to have, when someone plays a solo role like that, they've got to hold the ball up.
Yeah, he wasn't great today. I guess the best that he did was probably defensively, if I'm being honest with you, because he was pretty good from corners, right? He was getting rid of the ball and stuff like that, but that's not why he's here. He's there to be a focal point up front and hopefully to try and score goals, right? But he didn't look close to it today, did he? To be fair to the guy, he didn't. But, like I say, I mean, it makes all the difference when you bring on width. And when you bring in Somerville, then suddenly it made a big, big difference. And, Wilson, massive game changer as well. I thought Wilson was exceptional when he came on today as well.
Oh, yeah. We'll come to him. We're working our way out the pitch. So the two in front, so it was a 4-2-3-1 today officially. So Ward-Prowse and Souček. I think Souček helped out quite a lot defensively. Didn't see much from an attacking perspective, but defensively, definitely. He was another very important body in the box. I thought Ward-Prowse got through a ton of work, got stripped for pace a few times, as you'd expect. Right, he can't get faster, so I would think Magata is gonna replace one of them, right? If that system stays the same.
Yeah, well, that's the hope. That is the hope. I didn't think Ward-Prowse was great today. I've got to be honest with you. I mean, it was kind of like an maybe slightly above average performance from him. He didn't really offer anything. He didn't. I actually thought Irving was better than him when he came on, to be honest with you, for his 20 minutes.
It's kind of funny, isn't it? It's kind of funny because that was an interesting little cameo from Irving. There was once where a ball came over and he played a first-time volley over someone's head to Paqueta's foot, and I'm thinking, what are you doing? You're taking the piss. It's like, it was mad. Everything he did right. Everything he did right, which I thought was quite, he never does a lot wrong, but you rarely see him involved a lot in the attacking end of the pitch, do you, when he comes on for these little cameos? And he was.
The only thing I would say about Irving is I just don't think we should be letting him go, because I'm not saying he's a starter for us, but I think as having someone on the bench to play in midfield, I mean, if you're talking about sending him to, is it Wrexham that are after him? Is it Wrexham?
We should let him go for a couple of million. We should.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
He came in. He came and slotted into Fernandes' position. He had cramp. Fernandes had to go off, didn't he? But he came in, slotted into that position. It's an absolutely perfect relief player, if you like. Yeah. So I honestly, absolutely superb. I think when you look at what happened beyond there, I mean, you got then you got the three, right? So we've discussed Fulkrug already. Bowen, you said he had a quiet first half, and I think he did have a more quiet first half, and he was a lot better in the second half for sure. He came out with a bit between his teeth second half, didn't he?
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, he was very quiet in the first half. He wasn't having much luck down on that right hand side. He wasn't, really beating his man. He just wasn't, right. But second half, as you rightly said, I think he turned it on a little bit. But when you talk about the second half, though, and I want to try and break this down into a little bit of context here. Yeah. I think we started quite well in the second half, but then actually I think Forest actually gained a bit more control for probably about, I'd say, a good 20, 25 minutes of that game, in the second half in particular. First half, it was a nothing game, right? Let's be honest. I think we might have had one shot. I think, it was one shot in the first half. Second half, I think Forest got into the game a bit more, and they were pressurising us. They were. But I think, obviously, again, maybe I'm jumping the gun here, Gal. I'm all excited.
Let me just say they had a lot of possession, Forest, but they didn't do a lot with it. They didn't really trouble us. They got a few corners today, but we were defending the corners really well.
Yeah,
there was that one half chance for Blokey, for Woods, and he traditionally scores against us, doesn't he? But other than that, I don't think they'd done anything. That they were playing hopeful balls, trying to thread them through, right? But that's how tight our lines were. They were kind of forced to do it that way. But yeah, I thought he did well, and he took that goal really well as well, Bowen. And on the left, we've spoken Fernandes already. We've discussed Paqueta. So let's talk about how the game unfolded. Yeah, I think the first half, we had by far the better chance, or the best chance in the first half, didn't we? With that Paqueta one, which was a fingertip save over the bar, a great little layback by cutback by Fernandes. Gives you a little indicator of what he can do.
Yeah,
in the advanced areas of the pitch, and he also tried to carry the ball forward quite a few times as well, didn't he? Yeah. So what did you notice about the first half? Because I mean, we're not going to dwell on this for too long. All the action happened in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a bit of a nothing game in the first half. I think both teams nullified each other. In truth, it was very much kind of a midfield game, because there was nothing really happening at either end of the pitch, and our third of the pitch or their third of the pitch, from an attacking point of view. So Yeah, it didn't really look like it had goals in it in the first half, Gal. I thought it was going to be like, you know, it's one of those sort of games where you could think, imagine it being a 0-0 or maybe one of the teams nicking a goal. But there weren't a great deal of chances because Forest weren't, you know, by no means peppering our goal. I don't even think they really had any chances. I mean, you mentioned the Chris Wood one. But aside from that, nothing, you know, absolutely nothing. It was very much all in midfield, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, going back to obviously Fernandes, I thought he was exceptional today. Actually, again, I've got to give him credit because it's his first game for West Ham. Gal, you know, he's never played with these players before, apart from Kyle Walker-Peters. But he slotted in perfectly into that midfield. But yeah, like I say, it was, you know, to answer your question, it was a bit of a nothing game. Both teams kind of nullified each other. Second half, however, different game. You know, different game.
I was halfway through the second half. I was looking at 0-0 and so kind of dreaming of a 0-0 because it would have felt like a win, to be honest.
Yeah, mate. At half time,
at
half time when I was talking to loads of the people out at the ground and stuff, and I think we were all kind of like, do you know what? Yeah, it's not the most exciting game, but we ain't left yet. we ain't left yet. And actually, I would take a point before the game. I would have taken a point, at half time as well, because you've got to respect it away to a good Forest team. And let's get it right. They are a very good team. And I don't want anyone to go out and say, because, this happens a lot, Gal, sometimes. When West Ham get a win, it's like, Forest was shit. So-and-so was shit. They just played crap today. No. We made them play crap. We put them to the sword, mate, today. We did, right? We absolutely did. We were clinical in that final 10, 15 minutes. But, we fully deserved that against a very good Forest team, and we nullified their threats. We knew their game plan. And here's the thing, because I know for a fact, right, Forest, they are very, very strong on the flanks. They're really strong on the flanks. So if we would have played the 3-5, when you play the two wing-back system, they would have exploited that. Like we've seen so many times before, like Callum Hudson-Odoi would have had loads of space on his side. It would have been a bit of a nightmare for us. But I'm glad Potter realised that going to a flat back forward nullified that threat, and it did, because they had Kyle Walker-Peters basically having Hudson-Odoi in his back pocket. So, yeah, it was the right formation.
Hold on. What's this? Roy Keane hating on Pac-Man heavy right now for kissing the badge and doing for being loyal? Fuck off, Keane, you tit.
Look, let's get it right. If Paqueta wanted to leave, he could have done and he could have done what Naif Aguerd done. Right, he could have done the same thing. If he really wanted to push for a move, he says, right, fuck it, I'm out of here. I want to join Villa.
Aguerd's a disgrace. Aguerd is a disgrace, by the way.
Get shot of him.
The fucker's been back for 3 games. He's been the same Aguerd in all 3 of them, right? He's been Mr. Average, isn't he? He ain't been the worst of the 3, but he shouldn't be playing in the Premier League. He's not good enough. And he has the cheek to refuse to play. Got to get rid of him. The geezer's just poisoned. Get him out.
Here's the thing. I actually think Aguerd's a good player, but I don't think he's suited to the Premier League. I don't. I just don't think he is. Yeah.
He's not suited to the Premier League at all, Chris. He's not up to the standard, not up to the required standard, not at all. With him in the side, we had 3 players who couldn't head the ball because for some reason Kilman's heading went missing as well with Todibo in the side. I don't know what you do with Todibo in this formation, by the way. I don't think he gets a game.
No, he's got to be benched, isn't he? Simple as that. Yeah. You don't change a winning formation, right? You'd be stupid to do that. And I think even the same would apply for Anwar and Bissaka. He should be walking into that team now. That's Kyle Walker-Peters' shirt now.
He's lost his space. He's lost his place. Right? He's made a disgraceful start to the season, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and it doesn't matter whether you're Hammer of the Year or not. It doesn't buy you special privileges. He was terrible against Chelsea. He cost the first 2 goals.
Yeah, no, he was. Yeah, he lost his man, didn't he? But no, for me, Kyle Walker-Peters was, again, I'm going to say exceptional because he was. He was. I can't remember anyone beating him. I might be wrong, but I don't remember him being beaten. I can't.
Hopefully, when we see, Wan-Bissaka can play either side as well. Hopefully, when Wan-Bissaka makes a performance, because we'll get more games on. When he does, or when he returns to right back, whatever, maybe it will be the committed Wan-Bissaka again, not the one who ain't very focused. Then again, the system might have screwed him up as well. Who knows? It might the 3 at the back might have screwed him up.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, I think it does sometimes because it makes because obviously his kind of job then as a wing back is essentially to kind of work the whole flank. That's a big job for any for a fullback if you're going to run the full length of the pitch, which is essentially what he does for West Ham. So he is going to get exploited. Of course he is, and that proved to be the case. Particularly when we played against Chelsea. So, but yeah, regardless, right? I think when you're playing with this flat back 4, right now you've got to keep Kyle Walker-Peters in there. He's going to have to earn his shirt back and earn the right to take that place again. Because at the moment, based off that performance, that's his spot now, Kyle Walker-Peters. It is.
So listen, let's go back to the second half. Midway through the second half, roundabout then, Potter makes his first change where he's taken off the hapless Fulkrug and he's brought on Callum Wilson. And Callum Wilson, we're thinking, well, all right, it's a sort of like for like or whatever, but far from it. It wasn't a like for like at all. I mean, Fulkrug had real trouble playing up front in an offensive sense. It never did anything, never held the ball up or anything. Suddenly you got a guy who looks full of running, doesn't look slow, by the way, Wilson. Still looks like he's got a fair bit of pace. I mean, he created 2 chances out of nothing for himself, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I mean, I'm not going to say surprised because we all know that he's a good player. He's just an old player, right? We would have liked the Callum Wilson from say 4 or 5 years ago, right? But he came on and he was, so much more effective than Fulkrug was in that first half. As you rightly said, he created 2 chances. I think one of the chances was pretty much out of nothing. I think he had a number of players around him, but he still pulled off a shot. But yeah, not only that, I think his hold-up play was a lot better than Fulkrug's was. He was helping out the midfield, getting back. He just, for me, he just. Dare I say it, I'd almost be inclined to start him against Spurs as opposed to playing with Fulkrug, right? I don't know whether he can play a full 90 minutes right now, but I thought he was really good. He was really good.
Lewis says here, right? And I think he'll probably understand as well the importance of the derby, because of course he will, right? Yeah. And that is the next game coming up. We give Caduce a nice warm welcome home. Well, home Caduce, take the stalls away. Yeah,
definitely.
So look, back to the game. He looked really impressive. And then the next change that happened was, Irving came on the same time as Wilson, did he, from memory?
I think it was around about the same time. And they might have been after. I don't think it was exactly the same time, but no, it was, I think he had about 25 minutes spell. I think Wilson had probably had about 25 minutes spell. I can't remember, Gal. I was thoroughly in the moment of the game, mate, to be honest with you.
You'd think being a professional, I'd have these facts in front of
you.
You
would,
but,
particularly being a Sky pundit, mate. You should know this stuff.
I've been away. I just come back. You know what I mean? And
moonlighting on Sky, Gal. That's what it is.
I know. And I've got my priorities all wrong. What happened was the big difference maker was obviously Crescencio Somerville, Jimmy Somerville. For a start, I didn't even realise he was on the bench.
I did. And
it was like a ghost appearing on the touchline. I thought, oh, this is the ghost of Christmas past. I last saw him.
You didn't look at the lineup before the game, Gal. You didn't look at the bench,
Chris,
really.
I got home 15 minutes into the game, let alone check the subs.
Come on, mate. You
could have checked them at half time. Of course I could.
I wanted to look at the
diligent,
subs.
I would.
Yeah,
and that long drive this morning. You know what I mean? So Chris Somerville comes on, fucking sets the place alight, doesn't he? I mean, literally, he was worried about having an operation and losing his pace. Don't worry, mate. You ain't lost your pace. I think you've got even faster.
Mate,
it was mad what he did.
He had their fullback on toast. And as I said earlier on, at the start of this video, obviously as a result of the youth playing, as essentially a fullback rather than a left wing back. There was a lot of space in that left wing slot. There was a lot of space to run into, and I think Potter saw that. And I think we did the right thing. We held on to that 0-0, bring in some players that can actually impact the game where we know they can exploit the space. And there was clearly a lot of space on that left-hand side. I was saying it, for quite a long spell during that second half, like, get someone there because, there was no one there, basically. And then when you get him on there and he goes toe-to-toe on their fullbacks, he's fast, he's nimble. He created them all kinds of fucking problems, didn't he? He's essentially responsible for 2 goals.
He even had a pre-assist for if you're into those things for the third. But the first goal involved a run from him and a little layoff that Bowen just didn't even hesitate, just put the bloody thing in the back of the net. Sharpish, double quick.
I tell you that happened so quick. Instant. And bearing in mind, Gal, it was. That's they're shooting towards me, right? So you'd think that I'd know who scored. I didn't know who scored. It just happened so quick. Yeah. And I was just like jumping up and down and flipping. God knows what was going on. And I had to turn around. A lot of us didn't even know who scored because he just took it straight away. First time, wasn't it? First time. I've not even seen the highlights back, but he took it first time, wasn't it? It was the first time shot. It was a
wonderful strike. And I tell you what, it was a perfect thing to do along the surface that had just been rained on heavily. So, that rain seemed to benefit us because it benefited our passing game, right?
Yeah, can I just say something, right? It was so funny with the rain. It was hilarious, actually, because the rain was blowing over on the Forest fans, but we were kind of covered. And all the fans were, what did I say? I told you briefly earlier on, didn't I? Say, you're getting wet, you're getting wet, you're getting wet. And they were getting drenched, right? Yeah. And then we're all singing, we're staying dry, we're staying dry. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And then a little bit of rain hit us, and then we just turn up, we get a bit wetter. we're getting wet. It's brilliant though, mate. It was yeah, and I think the rain actually did, because you know what it's like when you get rain, on the surface, you can zip the ball around, and I think it definitely played to our favour, because when you're playing those balls to Somerville, when he's got all that free space to run into, perfect,
Well, being a tall, lumbering centre half, and you got this little fucking nippy geezer running at you in the rain. I mean, it's going to take the slightest of touches, but Forest didn't take any chances that a penalty might not be given. They absolutely took him out, didn't they, for that penalty?
It was. I mean, you could arguably say he might have played for it a bit, but then why not? It was a clear penalty. It was a clear penalty, but yeah, you got to do that, and why not? I mean, flipping teams do it against us. Why shouldn't we do it against teams ourselves? But yeah, it was a clear pen, and Stonewall, mate, it was right in front of me, and I didn't even question it.
He's obviously a psychic, because he said he'd hit the ground running. Well, he actually did hit the ground running and won a penalty.
Yeah. The thing with Somerville is, I mean, he's been out for what, 7 months now? I think the last time we saw him play actually was when we went to the Villa game together, didn't we? And that was when he got injured and he was been out all this time. Him coming back right now, he's like a new signing for us. I mean, it really, really is.
Yeah.
Because he offers us something different that we do not have. We do not have that on the left-hand side, from an attacking perspective. We don't. Someone that can run at defenders.
Yeah.
We don't have that. And that's what actually really excites me, to see him back. Fingers crossed he can stay fit, because I think he offers us so much. I mean, he really, really does. I don't necessarily think he's going to be starting games in this formation that Potter's playing, because how can you? But for him to come on as an impact sub, build up his fitness again, get back to his full pomp, I think it's like a new signing for us, Gal.
Oh, really? Honestly, I was so surprised to see him, and then I was so surprised to see him play that way. I thought he'd be a bit rusty. None of it. So he wins a penalty. First of all, he sets up the first. He wins a penalty, and then Lucas Paqueta does the classic Lucas Paqueta penalty, where he just a very slow walk, a stop to let the keeper make an intent, and then just pass it into the opposite corner. It's such a good technique, but it takes someone special to be able to do it.
Well, typically when Paqueta takes a penalty, he usually goes to the goalkeeper's left. I mean, if you look at all of the penalties Paqueta scored for West Ham, you could probably say about 99 or 90% of them have always been to the goalkeeper's left-hand side. He always does it. And I often think to myself, if he's going to take a penalty, please don't do it again, because the keeper knows. Well, the keeper obviously did his homework, because he went that way and completely got wrong foot, and Paqueta played at the bottom corner, the other corner. So it's good to see that he changed his, he can actually play it in the other corner instead. But yeah, I was so certain he was going to score, Gal. I filmed it. You showed the video right at the beginning of the show. I filmed it. I knew he was going to score. And man, what a celebration! What a celebration! Honestly, I mean, I stopped filming it, and then I was watching him, and I took a few photos, and I think I sent a couple to you as well.
Yeah,
that celebration to me was just.
You know what? At the end of the show, we'll show a few videos, like the players coming over and stuff like that as well.
Yeah,
when we wrap up.
Yeah. But honestly, it was actually quite emotional to see him do that. All the players around him showing to the fans that he's here to stay, he's not going anywhere, put the phone down, fuck off, I'm staying at West Ham. I loved that. Absolutely loved that. And honestly, that's pretty much what loads of us were talking about when we walked out the ground. It's like Paqueta's celebration, he ain't going anywhere. And all it goes to show for me is that all of this nonsense, and it is nonsense, I'm sorry, is all coming and stemming from Sullivan, right? He wanted to flog him. He wanted to get a bit of money back in. But you know what, Sullivan? You can't do that now, mate, because Paqueta has clearly said he does not want to go. And you told us via Karen Brady, whatever it is, a couple of weeks ago, we don't want to sell Paqueta. Well, you can't sell him now. You can't sell him now. He wants to stay.
There would be a riot if you sold him now.
Oh, yeah. Mate, there would be.
You cannot do that.
Yeah.
He couldn't have made it any clearer.
Oh, no, you couldn't. I mean, no, there isn't. Unless the only way he could have made it clear is if he pulled out a contract and signed it on a pitch or something to stay for a few more years.
Bless. They're losing 2-0 at home. Oh, bless. They need Paqueta. I ain't having him.
Yeah, they can piss right off.
And then, Chris, as if things weren't good enough, right? Little Jimmy Crease Somerville plays a little ball back to the magnificent Magic Diouf, who utilises the magic left foot to swing in the most beautiful ball onto the head of the guy, unmarked, who's never going to miss a chance like that, in Lionel Wilson.
I'm so happy, man. Like I usually look miserable. I literally look a picture of myself on the screen here, and I'm usually, admittedly, I look like a miserable git. I'm so happy today. Like I'm so happy because it was almost like it was the perfect present. Like that's what it felt like, the perfect gift for all the fans. It really was. And I've had some horrible away days. We both have. We've had some horrible home games. Well, loads of horrible home games. But the fact that we scored, 3 goals in the spell of 10 minutes, And it was almost like the icing on the cake, right? Somerville coming back from injury, massive plus. Wilson scoring his first goal for West Ham. Bowen getting on the score sheet. Lucas Paqueta basically putting a marker ground saying, I am staying here, I'm not going.
Yes.
It was perfect in that respect. Our defence, brilliant today. Didn't concede a goal, clean sheet. What more can you ask for, mate? Do you know what I mean? And Wilson, as you said, scoring that goal.
One more thing, Chris. You remember the Diego Maradona goal in 1986 against England? Do you remember the John Barnes goal in the Maracanã against Brazil? They built a statue of him afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Bowen, fucking Gary Bowen beats 4 men, jiggles his way through the defence, nearly finishes it off. It would have been goal of the season.
Reminiscent of Payet against Borough, right? I mean,
nearly at the ceiling.
When he was running through, I must admit, when he's about to take that shot, I was like, this can be a fucking goal here. And honestly, I think the fans would have lost it at that point. I mean, we would have absolutely 4-0 up, lost it. But the actual goal itself would have been incredible. But I think Wilson took it off him, didn't he? I think he obstructed him somewhere.
He did. Wilson fucks out for him. But he's a goal scorer. What are you going to do? He wants to put that away himself, doesn't he?
Well, I'll tell you something. They were laughing
about it after.
Oh, they weren't. I mean, I was watching them, and we had a corner at this point, and Bowen and Wilson are just standing there, not even paying attention to the game at this point. Why should we be 3-0 up? It's the 90+ minute or whatever it is. Yeah. And they're both standing talking to each other, having a laugh. It was great. It was brilliant. I loved it.
Very, very important point. This is the difference between a striker and not a striker, right? Kent says Wilson's movement for that goal was magnificent. He got himself into that free position. He knew where that ball was being delivered to, and that's where he went. He is a natural goal scorer. He is a natural goal scorer. Now, I'm not saying he's going to stay fit or he's going to be brilliant or anything like that, right? But today, he was Lionel Messi. Sorry, not Lionel Wilson. Yeah,
Gary, 3 attempts, 3 on target, 1 goal, right? In a 25-minute cameo.
Maybe the pay as you play deal is the way to get a fantastic Callum Wilson, or maybe he's just very motivated to do well for West Ham, because of course he is.
Well, I'll tell you, Sully's going to be a bit pissed off today, isn't he?
He's shelling out, isn't he? He's shelling out. Double bonuses. Bonuses. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I love it.
Ryan says, watch the third back. Defender has no idea where Wilson was. Yeah. It's incredible, actually. I mean, it feels like a novelty to have an actual real striker. We've got a couple of actual real strikers. The difference is, Fulkrug don't ever get on the end of anything at the moment. But he was great pre-season, wasn't he? Pre-season, bashing him in left, right, and centre.
Don't write him off yet. I'm not writing off the BFG yet because
he worse. It's 3-0 now. They've lost Paqueta and they're losing 3-0.
Who are they playing? I don't even know they're playing.
Don't care.
I don't care either. But I ain't bothered about that. But no, I think going back to Wilson's goal, technique-wise, perfect. They always say head it down, right? Head it down. Yeah. Goalkeeper didn't stand a chance for that. But it felt like when you saw that cross come in, it felt like he had all the time in the world to actually pick his spot. And again, I'd need to watch it back to see his movement because you don't always take note of some of these things when you see it live or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it was just like it was a perfect goal, mate. Perfect goal, and great to see Diouf get the assist as well with that cross because I think he's got that in his locker. We all know. Well, we all know he has. We saw it in pre-season, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't, Gaz. I respect your comments, but I think Potter was forced into a back four. Listen, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he got everything right. I'm not going to. We don't know whether that was something to do with it. That's just it's a guess, really. So I don't want to bring any negativity into what is a fantastic day. We very rarely win at Forest, and this season we ain't won at all. So I just want to enjoy it without bringing any negative feeling into it. Right?
We have had so many. Yeah, we have had so many, honestly, so many negative games coming back, feeling depressed, feeling upset. We've had so many. So I know we were talking briefly when I was driving back, we were talking about the Spurs game. I was like, fuck the Spurs game. Let's just talk about today because I think we need to enjoy these moments. They're few and far between. But what it does prove, though, Gal, is that I don't think we should be a team that's going to be struggling this season. I really don't believe that based on what I've seen today. I thought their work rate was absolutely first class today. Every single player, irrespective of the fact that I didn't think Ward-Prowse was the greatest, you can't fault him for his effort. I think you can't even fault Fulkrug for his effort. I think they all gave 100% today.
Yes,
I know not everyone was exceptional, but it doesn't matter. I thought it was a proper team performance. They were all working hard.
Tried for sure. He definitely tried. He wasn't a slacker. Yeah, he never is. He never is.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I don't care about whether he. I don't think he was. I think he. I'd like to think that he knew what he needed to do. I mean, there was enough people shouting noise about this, weren't there? Creating noise about you need to play a flat back four. Everyone's been saying it,
Yeah.
And obviously their threats come from the flanks, and we nullify
I think you're right about that, skeptic. I don't think we can get carried away. It's like Somerville, for instance. He had a much more of an impact against the tired defence in the rain than he would have obviously starting a game. Of course, right. And he's proven his fitness is not there to do that week in, week out, is it? So yeah, maybe from the bench, but that's fine. If you can get loads of goals from the bench, happy with that. He gets a rest, gets to get up late, right?
Well, you can look at it another way, Gal, right? So Fulkrug, obviously, I mean, he did put a lot of work in today. He wasn't great. But then obviously Wilson comes on and he gets a chance like that. Fulkrug did not get a chance like that today. I think if Fulkrug gets a chance like that and the cross comes in the box, I believe he finishes it. I do.
But the thing is, he also created that chance for himself with the movement, right? And you like to think the Fulkrug's got that movement as well, but we just ain't seen it yet.
Hey, give him time. Don't write him off, mate. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe that's the answer is that maybe you play Fulkrug at the beginning of games and you knacker their defences out, and then you bring on an aging Callum Wilson to be a bit clinical in the final 25 minutes, like what happened today.
I guess Potter wasn't dog shit last week and isn't Messiah this week. Well, no, he's not a Messiah. The thing is, things have got nuance, right? Sometimes someone can do well when you give them praise, and sometimes people do badly and you have a go at them.
It was shit in the last couple of games, so we're not disputing that.
You don't have to do this thing. It's not necessary to say, right, I have made my mind up, he is shit, or I have made my mind up, he is right. You can just judge it on what he delivers and the output, right? You can do that. It is a reasonable thing to do. That's all we do.
Well, surely, I mean, yeah, absolutely. We want Potter to do well. We wouldn't be West Ham fans if we didn't want him to do well. Anyone that doesn't want Potter to do well, I think needs their heads tested, because this is our club. This is West Ham. Regardless of who's manager, we want them to do well. And I think you call it as it is. The last couple of games, tactically, he's been in nets. Today, he got it right. Well done. You know,
and we've called him. We've said so as well. We've said so, and we said if he didn't switch it up today, and we went there and got our asses handed to us, he'd have to go.
Yeah.
He didn't do that, did he? He didn't do that. He reacted. So Randy says Tottenham will have a response. Yeah, fuck their response, to be honest, because listen, they've got Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank plays a 4-2-3-1. Everyone knows Thomas Frank's game. It's the same as what Nuno plays, right? Very similar. Kudus, you know, in theory, that would suit Kudus if the league were unaware of who Kudus is. But what's happened, I think, is they knew how to deal with Kudus last year. And so what they've the first couple of games, it's taken everybody by surprise where Kudus is playing for Tottenham. Now they know where he's playing. Now he's going to be deployed. They know how to deal with him. That's
they doubled up on him. They doubled up on him yesterday, mate. Just a good comment here by Septic. Actually, I'll just put this up.
Yeah,
Potter could have played to Debo, so he could have played with the back three if he wanted to. But he could have done the same system.
That's right. Actually.
He didn't. So there you go.
Yeah. So let's not piss on our own cornflakes. I mean, let's just be happy, because otherwise, why deny yourself happiness? A smile. You know what I mean?
Mate,
by the way,
enough of them.
By the way, when that fourth goal nearly went in, I got a text from a Forest friend of mine. He said, "Can't you lot fuck off back to Essex?" And I said, "I bet the Greek ain't happy." Yeah, I said, "I bet the Greek ain't happy, is he?" He said, "He left 10 minutes early to knock up Nuno's coffin." That's what he said.
Football's such a fickle game, isn't it? It's such a fickle game. He's done a tremendous job for Forest. He has. You can't dispute that.
He don't stop spending, that's for sure. But I don't like the idea of it. I think he's very, very involved in the team, isn't he?
Probably a little bit too much. You know, obviously we saw what he did when he jumped on the pitch a couple of weeks back, and he had it out, didn't he, with Nuno? Yeah.
He has got the ability. That is a wonder of a left foot that Diouf's got. I mean, the loop and the pace that he gets on that ball, it's almost undefendable if they're not expecting it. You know what I mean? If it catches someone out, there's no way they're defending against that. It's going in a certain place. If they're practicing it and it's going on a certain spot, which I believe it does with him, then it's food and drink for people like Fulkrug and Wilson, right?
Oh, they'll love it. I mean, you know, if you look I think just before the start of the season, I think Fulkrug was being interviewed and he was talking about the youth. And apparently Diouf was specifically asking, "Okay, you make runs here, so I'm going to be whipping the cross into you and getting into those areas." So he knows what he needs to do, right? And I think we're going to see a lot of that this season. We will, and I can imagine him getting quite a few assists actually as well. I think he did get a number of assists for his team last season as well. So I think you can definitely bank on that he will get a number of assists.
It's going to be such a warm atmosphere when Kudus comes back with Tottenham, because that is the ultimate two fingers, isn't it, to us? Going and joining Tottenham, and then saying Spurs was the only club for him. And then when he did his little rundown talking about his career, he went on about Ajax for ages, and then said, "Then I went to West Ham, then I come to Spurs." Oh, is that what you did at West Ham? Then is it?
I know.
So it's just like,
Oh, what about the one
reminding
where
me-
he's having his when he was having his medical gal, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, they're kind of, I don't know, listening to his heart. Oh, you can hear Spurs there." I was like, "Fuck off, mate."
Oh, he's all you can
Honestly,
hear is Spurs.
you can
He's
hear
all you can hear
Tottenham
is
there.
Spurs.
I was
It's
just
like,
shut up, mate.
Well,
I'll
the
tell you.
good news is the Spurs fans are already having a dig at him for his lack
I
of
know,
work.
I
It's
know.
fantastic. He'd be
Yeah,
playing on the left soon, I'm telling you, and then he'd be demanding to leave because he's trouble in the dressing room. He is. You don't suddenly become not trouble in the dressing room. You'll just repeat the behaviour at every club.
it's your character, mate. It's his character. It's his character like that, right? And I think we talk about that Spurs game, and don't underestimate what today's result will have done from a confidence point of view going into that game. We've now got a 2-week break. Get back on the training pitch, get some of those players a little bit more fitter, the likes of Somerville, the Wilsons, all these sort of players, and integrate obviously Fernandes more into the team. Mate, I'd fancy our chances. It's a London derby under the lights. Why would we not fancy our chances after that?
Oh,
I think we were a little bit cautious. Let's be honest. For a lot of that game, we were a bit cautious today. But once we scored that first and second, the shackles were off, mate, and it could have been 4, could have even been 5. And I think going into the next game, that is a massive, absolutely massive for West Ham.
Massive. And Iron Luke, this is important because I hadn't considered this. Having Jimmy on the pitch with Fulkrug, that'll be different as well, won't it? I mean, it's all about service with those strikers, isn't it?
Of course it is. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, and like I said earlier on, if Fulkrug was on the pitch when Somerville was on there, then he might have had some actually, because he didn't really have any clear-cut chances today, did he, Fulkrug?
No, he didn't. I think Rex. It was just hard work in the first half, wasn't it? Yeah. I think this is the way. If I had a choice, this is the way my mind works anyway, and I know yours does. I weren't against Potter. I was actually quite, from the available people, I was actually quite for him. Wasn't sure of him, still not sure of him. But I'm going to judge him on his output, right? And that's what everybody should do. So that's what he says here, Rex. He says if he gets it right, he can do the job. Of course he can. Nobody should be so self-interested that they declare that, oh, I have made my mind up, he's rubbish. And no matter what he does that's slightly good, I'm just going to say it's rubbish. Some people do that on social media.
I just think, come on. I mean, as West Ham fans, we just want the team to do well. And I think whoever's wearing the badge, whoever's in the dugout, we have to back them, whilst they're still here. And if they keep effing up and they're gone, then, we back the next manager or we back the next player. It's just the way it is. It's like we've backed the Gued, now he's effing off, he can piss right off.
He's dead to me. He's dead to me like a deuce. Bill Elkanous is off to Stuttgart. Should we talk about transfers for a while? Let's do a two-way transfer show. I had a quick look earlier because I ain't been home long. I watched the game, had a sleep, had a nap, got up. I've been reading transfer updates the last couple of days. Now, what seems to be happening is Emerson and Aguerd are going to Marseille. Aguerd might be going to Saudi. Tell me if you've heard anything that we ain't mentioned. Right. So let's talk about it. So who do we expect to leave this window? I don't want to leave. I don't want to see Irving leave after seeing that little, because I've never really been an Irving hater. I think he's always added a little bit of value. He did a great job at Chelsea last year, didn't he?
And he's not had enough time to be a hate. He's not had enough time on a pitch for anyone to hate on him.
Not a hater, you know what I mean? There's someone who I didn't rate as a footballer. I do quite rate him as a footballer. That's the thing. I do.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, he's a tidy enough player. He's not for me a starter.
Squad player.
Exactly. He's there if we've got a bit of an injury crisis or we need someone to, come on or whatever, in the final sort of, throes of a game. But that's, don't want him to go. It makes no sense, like we said earlier on, for 3-4 million quid or whatever he's for. 3-4 million pound, mate. That's like pocket change nowadays. That's actually kind of quite pathetic, to be fair. It really is.
It's only pointless to weaken the squad for that. Martin, where the hell are you, Martin? What a show to miss. Great result performance. Yeah. All right, Martin. Yeah. Don't respond to him, Chris.
Mate, I'll tell you. So I'm just looking at something because I was just, we're talking about transfers and where are you, Martin?
With his family doing stuff like that. Bloody hell,
man, he needs to get it. I have literally,
that, Martin.
I've been rushing back from Nottingham to make this show.
Chris, that's set an example for you, Martin. Set an example.
You got to prioritise, mate. But no, talking about transfers, you're talking about who we would maybe expect or want to leave.
So Emerson's gone already. Emerson's gone already.
He's done. Yeah, he's gone. He's joined Marseille. I think Aguerd, it seems to me, Saudi, Marseille, or maybe even Sunderland, right? Which for me is ridiculous. But either way, I don't really give a toss as long as we get a decent transfer fee for him. And I don't even know what that transfer fee will be. I actually do not know. So I expect, obviously, Aguerd, he's done now. There's no way. I don't think any West Ham fan wants him anywhere near that first team if he ends up staying, right? No way. For me, Guido Rodriguez has to go, Gal. He does. I know that he's probably been one of our better midfielders in more recent games.
100%. He's going back to Betis, so, isn't he? Pellegrini opened the door for him.
I hope that's the case because, and again, if you get £6 million for him, then that's actually really good business for us because we got him on a free.
I'd do it on a free. I'd give him back.
Yeah, but if they're willing to pay for it, then fucking hell, mate, I'll take the money. So I'd like to see
nowhere, as we know. He's going fucking nowhere, right? Boniface. Now look, his knees are knackered, and he nearly had to give up football after his last cruciate ligament recovery. But the thing is with that guy, he's just a very, very big physical specimen who, if you remember him from that Leverkusen game away, where he came on from the bench after coming back from injury, funny enough, it was his first game back. Made such a difference in 15 minutes, helped to win that game for him. 15, 20 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've known about him for a couple of years, like genuinely, I have. I've seen him play a few games, not loads, but I've seen him play a few games, and I've seen a lot of highlights on the guy. And he's a proper beast. I mean, he is. He's physical. His hold-up play is exceptional. He will bully centre backs. So on the basis of what on the basis of what his attributes are, he would be very well suited to the Premier League. He would, particularly from a physical perspective, and he can finish as well. But as we all know, the big question mark on him is injuries because he's had a few horrible injuries. But that's always the case with West Ham. We do tend to, there's always something wrong, isn't there, with some of the players we sign. But I'd rather have Boniface than not have him. If it meant not signing a striker or signing Boniface, then 100% I'd want him because even if he ends up playing 10, 15 games this season, right, then that's better than not playing any games and not buying a striker. That's the way I see it. And it's a loan as well, Gal, right? It would be a loan, wouldn't it?
Swimmingly Paul from Newfoundland, he's just landed in the UK, and West Ham have beat Forest 3-0 away.
Oh,
Paul, nice. You can never leave, mate. You've got to stay for the rest of the season now. I'm sorry. If we're on a winning streak, you just got to make sacrifices. That's just the way it is. So he's only here for a week, but I wonder if he's here for the Tottenham game. Should be here for the Tottenham game, Paul.
What's 13th, isn't it?
Yeah. 4-3-3 is what I've asked for. That way we'll have Summer and both new mids in the same team. Yeah. I mean, look,
4-2, sort of 3-1, wasn't it? But
yeah. I think it'll evolve depending who we're playing, won't it? I mean, that's what he tends to do. He does tend to go like for like quite a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Spurs, for instance, I think what formation do they play? They play 4-2-3-1 as well, don't they? I think they do play 4-2-3-1. Yeah.
Thomas Frank uses the same system. Yeah, same system. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we need to stick with that system. Absolutely. Yeah. But you're right. I mean, we will change it up. Potter will. I think he will change it up for certain games. I mean, look, despite the fact that I don't like the formation that he has been playing in the previous games, that will work against certain teams, particularly teams that don't have very good wingers, where they're not actually particularly much of a threat coming from the flanks. That could work quite well. But with the games we've played so far, it really, really hasn't. And I think Potter's got it massively wrong in that respect today. He got it right, like we've already said. So, I'm fine with him changing the system up depending on who we play and what systems the opponents play as well, of course.
What do you reckon about Charlie Cresswell? Is that would that be good interest? Bad? I've read really divided reports on him.
No, I'd like him. I like him. I think he'd be a good acquisition for us, Gal. I do. Look, I think there's some people in the chat saying he made a mistake or something recently, but you know what? Christ almighty, look how many mistakes some of our defenders have made. Exactly. Yeah, they're human beings, right? But look, he's still relatively young, right, Charlie Cresswell? Mate, for me, I think it's a no-brainer. If we have the ability and the option to actually buy him, and essentially he's going to replace Aguerd, then bring him in. Why not? Who else
Message for Martin. Chris pulled a Somerville to get home and do this stream. See, that's how fast he went.
No, I didn't go that fast. No, I didn't go that fast.
He's never moved that fast. Yeah.
No, never. I would never go over 70, mate.
We know, Mark, that Boniface failed the AC Milan medical, and that's the only way we could get him. Believe me. So it would be like a pay as you play week, season long loan. There's no way we'd ever pay a fee for him or put him on a long contract because he's literally physically knackered. But you might get a couple of important goals out of him off the bench because he is a game changer. If he can, if you can inject him up, get him ready, slap a load of needles in his knee, get him pain free to come on for 10 minutes, he could be a game changer. He's destructive.
I'd like to see him in. My only kind of concern, right? It is a genuine concern now, because yes, we've won 3-0 today. Is Sullivan going to suddenly turn around and say, well, you know what? We've got the squad now. Clearly proved it. We don't need to stick our hands in our pockets, which would be completely fucking inaccurate because we still need more strength in depth. We still need squad players in there, 100%. So I'm just hoping this, because, you know, it does work that way sometimes.
I hope Sullivan ain't put his wallet away. He's got to finish the job. Finish the job. Now, we've given you some credit, Sullivan, for going out and buying some players that you should have bought fucking weeks ago. Now, at least finish the bloody job. So, Hayden Hackney. Do you reckon? He's good. He's a good player. I'd love to have him. I mean, that's one I've heard nothing but positive about, right?
Yeah, same. I mean, I've seen him play a few games, as I said before on previous videos that we've done.
Yeah.
But apparently Borough don't want to sell him, but that doesn't necessarily mean much. If they get the right offer, then I'm sure they'd have to let him go if the player wants to leave and join, you know, a Premier League team. Again, yeah, I'd like, of course, yeah. I mean, Christ Almighty, yeah. I mean, he's a standout player in the Championship, right? So why would we not want him?
Has Hayden Hackney done the picking up the phone and throwing it away? He ain't, has he? Yeah.
Only Paqueta does that, mate. Only Paqueta does that. Yeah. I still love that, making me smile. That honestly, it really does. I just love that celebration so much. That for me was one of the highlights of the day, Gal. It really was. I just loved it.
It was.
You know, it was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
All the slow midfielders need to go. Well, yeah. But I've look, Ward-Prowse is staying. Souček is staying. They can both do jobs in certain games. I'm sure of that, as long as there's legs around them. So as long as they're not, you know, we ended up with 2 of them starting the game today, by the way, Ward-Prowse and Souček. Something that most of us hate seeing. Hope it doesn't happen very often. Let's be honest, because it very rarely works. But it worked today. So
they did have Fernandes in there, Gal. They had Fernandes in there as well.
They had Fernandes.
If you put Rodriguez in there, instead of Fernandes, you're talking
we
about
lose.
different.
We lose.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, then suddenly we become exposed. We've got no legs in midfield. We've got no one that can actually win the ball back. So yeah, for me, it was it makes a huge difference, and it did make a huge difference today.
Yeah, it really did. So Alvarez, yeah, I know he gets a share of bookings, but I really want Alvarez to say he's gone. He left last week.
Done. He's gone.
Yeah. He's in Fenerbahce. Go Turkey, Sim. Go Turkey, Cape Figure. Yeah. Magassa. Yes. See, he's exciting. I'm excited by that player. Really.
I like it when because I don't know a great deal about him, and I said this the other day when I done a show, but I quite like that sometimes because it's like an unknown quantity. Do you know what I mean? You just think, oh, you know, you don't really know what to expect. I mean, I've looked at his background and his attributes and everything else and watched the YouTube videos, but we don't really know what he's about until he steps on that pitch. And that's quite exciting, I think.
It is, and there's knee problems and there's knee problems. So Timber is not on the same plane as what's his name? As Boniface. Boniface's knees are, as someone just joked, akin to Zuma's knees, right? They're not good knees. Timber has had a couple of operations, but he's at the moment plain and fit, right? He's still got that on his history, but he's still very young. And it could be anything, right? It could be anything with a kid. It could be like growing pains. It could be an impact injury. It could be anything.
Well, he had 190 days out over the course of the last 2 seasons. You know, I did look that up. But look, he scored today, and you know the thing is, he is still young. He is still young, and and so look, he scored today. He scored today. He for me actually really excites me because I think he looks one heck of a player. He does. I think he's made 4 appearances for his national team for the Netherlands in the course of the last 12 months as well, since he's kind of got back, you know, from injury. They don't pick mugs, you know, and I think he's a good player. I do. He might even be better than the Arsenal Timber. Who knows?
We don't pick mugs, as they say in Holland. Irving Potts needs to stay and build a team around. We've not mentioned Potts. He must be frustrated at the moment.
He probably thinks, why did I stick around now, you know?
Well, no, look, he will find himself if he's not getting any game time halfway through, he'll either go out on loan or get a move, depending what they see for him. Because what I see with him is someone who's almost ready, but not quite, who will get game time, but it's going to be in dribs and drabs until he's ready, right?
The only way he will be ready, though, Gal, is if he gets game time, though. That's the thing. Yeah. But I think at the moment, I mean, what games can you really throw him in for?
I'll man him. Who knows? You don't know. I don't know. We can guess the negative. We can just accept the positive.
No, we said this already. Look, Tadibo was available.
Enjoy the win, mate.
Tadibo was available. We could have played it. Gary, Tadibo was available. We could have played a back 3. We could have done that, or a back 5, whatever you want to call it. We could have done that. He didn't do that. So I'd like to think that, as I said already, he basically played that formation to nullify the threats of Forest down the flanks, and he did it perfectly today.
WHU Cyan 95. That is not a game for tonight. That's a long game. That's a game for when over the next. Perhaps we play it next week during the international break. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Would you dream? Yeah. So, what would your dream West Ham squad be of modern players, including the formation and tactics? I never
realistic players that we could actually sign, or just anyone.
I don't know. We'd have to set those rules. Rules. Just shows what happens if you're flexible with formation. Yeah, which he wasn't in the first 3 games. Right, he was awful. So, Matt, the only reason Bellis can't be ruled out is because of being a sort-house client. That's the Southampton one, isn't it?
Yeah, centre half. Yeah, he's a decent player. He is a decent player.
We do need centre half. We do need another centre half. I mean, you know, we can't. I mean, what happens if Mavropanos gets injured? God forbid. I mean, it's a bit disaster, wouldn't it? It'd be a damn morning.
It's funny that we say this, isn't it? Because the start of the season we'd be like, whatever.
No, but I've never been whatever. I've never been.
I know you haven't. Yeah, you're a Mavropanos lover, and hey, after today's performance, I am as well.
Much. You didn't half look like Terry, by the way. Terry. What?
John Terry.
Oh, is that you? John Terry.
I'm not. I don't know. I can't think of any other Terry.
Yeah, no, you must be John Terry. I'm going to give you that.
John Terry, sod off.
Yeah, John Terry.
No, I'm not having that. Take the £2.50 back. I'm not having that.
Surely it's not another fucking. It's not another double barrel player, is it? What is it with Southampton? Taylor Harwood Bellis. Sounds like a house builder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is a double barrel name. Yeah.
THB. Ain't that a drug?
THC, girl. Don't pretend like you don't know.
THC, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So let's see if we've got any others in here. Any other rumours? Don't look like we have. I think that's it. No one's given me.
How many players, Gal? How many players, realistically, and also for the chat as well? I'd love to know how many players do you genuinely and realistically think we will be signing before the end of the deadline? I'd just love to get an opinion.
2 more things, right? Number 1, we're going to quickly go through and do the player ratings, right? And I think I can overlay this chat now. Yeah, I can.
I do want to know this. I definitely want to know this because I'm really in 2 minds about what transfers we're going to get in after today's performance.
So here we go. No, don't do that question yet. We're going to do player ratings. So let's go through player ratings. Number 1, I'm going to give the keeper, Herman, I'm going to give him 7 out of 10 for a very, very solid game that would have taken a lot of focus to get right. What do you reckon?
I think that's fair. I think 6 would be a bit unfair. 7, he didn't really have a great deal to do, but he was effective with crosses. He didn't flap at crosses like he did the other day. So I'll give him a 7. It's a clean sheet, and the geezer's confidence.
Claire's forgiving him.
And the geezer's confidence must be shot to pieces after the first few games. So I think a 7's a fair. Yeah, it's a fair number, to be honest with you.
Good stuff. And it seems like it is working the overlay anyway, so that's good. What about KWB?
Oh, KWP. I would give him an 8. I would give him an 8. Yeah, I thought he was very, very good today. I thought he was. I don't remember him putting a foot wrong, Gal. I might be wrong, but I don't. And I thought he was. Yeah, he nullified the threat of Callum Hudson-Odoi. Had him in his back pocket, like I've already said. So for me, it's an easy 8. Easy.
I'm going to go with you on that with the 8. I'm going to give on the other side, Diouf, because he got the assist as well. He would have got a 7.5. I'm going to give him an 8 as well, just because of the assist. And I thought his leadership was magnificent from corners. And I genuinely love the bloke. His ears are too low, but we don't care. Fucking great performance. Right. So
I'm with you on that. I mean, look, he had a very good game today. I thought Kyle Walker-Peters was better defensively than Diouf, but Diouf offers more going forward, and he obviously showed that, right? So I think it's fair. I'd give him that as well.
Now the 2 centre halves featuring the magnificent Dinos Mavropanos, and ably assisted by his assistant. 40 million quid's worth of what's his name? Kilman. Max Kilman. What are you going to give him? I'd score Dinos slightly above Kilman, just for the 1 mistake. So I'd give. Again, I'm going to mark the defence high today because they deserve it, and they must have been nervous about putting this new system in. So I'm going to go 8 for Dinos, 7.5 for Kilman. What do you reckon?
Mate, I would do exactly the same thing. Genuinely,
Yeah.
I would do, because I thought Dinos definitely edged it. I thought he was basically winning pretty much everything in the air. He was winning everything in the air. I think Kilman made one mistake that you've alluded to already.
Yeah.
But he also had, I think there was one pass of his that was just fucking way off, and I was like, what was that? So for that, I'm going to drop him down 0.5. I'd give Kilman 7.5, and I honestly, mate, I couldn't agree more with you. I would say exactly that, actually. Yeah, Mavropanos was magnificent today. I don't usually say, I hate it when you say that.
I love Jason's comment though.
But no, he was good.
Look at Jason's comment. 9 Mavropanos. 9.
Gary, that shirt, that signed Mavropanos shirt I gave you, his value is going up. It's going up, mate. The value is going up now.
Yeah. He's going to be a hero. Yeah. And then, so let's move into midfield. So we've got the pairing of Souček and Ward-Prowse. Let's do them together. I'd give them a... No, you tell me what you'd give them first.
Okay, I would give JWP a 6 because it was, like I said earlier on, it was an average performance. I think Souček I would score slightly higher. I think you're absolutely right. Defensively, he was better today. He was good for us. But I think when he actually had possession of the ball, if that makes sense, he didn't do a great deal with it. I mean, there were certain patterns of play where he's involved and he was quite effective, but he had quite a few stray passes today from recollection. So I would probably give him, I'd probably mark him slightly higher. 6.5, maybe a 7 at a stretch. But JW, that's something like that, I would say. I think would probably be about right.
No, good stuff. I agree with that. And then I'd say my man of the match for sure was Lucas Paqueta today. So he gets a 9 for me. I thought he was amazing. What about you?
I'm giving Paqueta a 10. I'm going to go one better because I think
I'm going to join you on that because of the goal celebration. I'm going to join you on the 10.
Yeah, the goal celebration, I thought his work rate was second to none on the pitch today. Honestly, I thought he was absolutely exceptional. He was tracking back, he was defending, he was getting his foot in, his hold-up play was good. I think he made one stray pass, but that was in the attacking third, so I'm cool with that, right?
We've done something wrong, though. We missed a trick here. We could have gone up to 11.
Yeah, we could have done that.
But
no, mate, honestly, for me, 10 out of 10, performance, goal, celebration, staying at West Ham, love it. Yeah, he's getting a 10 for me today.
Yeah, you got your arse Fernandes to you. That's right. I like that. So Fernandes on the we're there now. Fernandes on the left, Bowen on the right, and then Fulker go up front. So Fernandes, I'm going to give him for a debut. If Paqueta's getting a 10, I'm going to give him a 9 for the debut because I thought I've not seen a debut that good before.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just thought he was. I thought again, excellent today. Excellent first game. Never played with these guys before. Came in like he'd been here all his life, sort of thing. And that takes a lot. It really does. Seemed to be on the right wavelength. His work rate was really good. Winning back the ball, his distribution of the ball. I'm with you on that. I'd have to score him high as well. If I'm giving Paqueta a 10, then I'm giving him a 9 because he made all the difference in midfield for us today. I mean, if you look at it in isolation and saying, right, if it was Rodriguez playing in the middle or it was him, well, you know what would happen. It'd be a different outcome. So you can see how important he was to that team today. All right, he came off when we were at 0-0. In fact, he did come off when we were 0-0, but he already done the job. You know what I mean? He done the job. Yeah. And I think when we put on the substitutions, Forest were tiring. It was a bit more of an open game. There was more space. We could hurt him a bit more easier. So I'm going to give him a 9. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah,
I think that's good. Yeah, and brilliant debut. He's skillful, very mobile, gets stuck. He's got the lot. I tell you, he really is a talented young player. Really is. And I've read a lot about him, and I'm not surprised. That's what we got today. Really,
I don't want to get too excited because I've done this before with players. I don't want to get too excited. I think
him and Diouf,
promising.
Him and Diouf are 21 years old.
Yeah.
It's bloody good, isn't it? It's bloody
good. Of course it is. Yeah, no, mate. I mean, come on, seriously. Yeah, I think that is actually very, very exciting. The fact that he's only going to get better.
Yeah,
so he will, and so will Diouf as well. And not that we've seen him yet, Magassa, some of these players we're bringing in. It's good to see us bringing in players that forget the fucking sell-on value because I don't want to be selling good players. But I think it's good that we are bringing in players that have the ability to progress and develop and become better than what they are right now.
Magassa is also 21.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he was honestly, he could be the dark horse, Magassa. We kind of knew that Diouf was quite special from what he did in the England game, right? We kind of knew from being in the Premier League already and what he did for Southampton, because he was so far their best player last year. It was embarrassing, right?
Who are we talking about? Diouf or Fernandes?
No, we're talking about both. So
Okay,
first was Diouf. We knew a bit of his history.
Yeah.
He did well for the England game, where playing against England at Wembley in that 3-1 win, and then we knew he was a decent player already, right? And he's good on a big stage and everything. Fernandes had an outstanding year individually for Southampton. He was way their player of the year. I mean, by a long, long way. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that was hard, by the way, but he was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And he played in lots of different positions as well. So, but when you hear about Magassa, he looks like he could also be another real surprise. He could
I hope so. I mean, as I said the other day, he's not first name on a team sheet for Monaco, but he is playing for a team that's in the Champions League. He's made appearances in the Champions League. He's still made like 23, 24 appearances last season. He's only young. He's only going to get better.
Don't let that fool you. That he's behind apparently a very, very good player for Monaco in the selection.
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that he's not a good player, but I'm just saying I think that we've got to give him time. And if he can come in and hit the ground running straight away, then fantastic. But I don't want to put the pressure on him. I'd rather that he kind of settles in, and hopefully we don't need to depend on him so much straight away. That's what I'm hoping.
Right, let's finish these player ratings. Füllkrug, I'm going to give a 5 to. No, well, 5.5. I'm not going to be unfair. 5.5. 5.
Yeah,
5.
Yeah, he's not going to be unfair. I'm 5.5. 5. I'd give him 5.5, but that 0.5, I'd give him a little bit extra because I thought defensively he was all right today. Particularly on set pieces and corners. He was helping us out a bit. But aside from that, I mean, from an attacking perspective, he wasn't.
I just thought it wasn't a very mature performance from him, because when we're defending, and we were defending for large parts of that first half, when the ball comes up to him, he can't just try a ball around the corner or a first-time pass and give possession back, launching another counter. They want some respite. Hold the bloody ball up for a few seconds. Yeah,
no, I agree. I mean, it was frustrating to see him doing that. It really was, because he was getting the ball and then he was just playing a stupid pass he could even see. It was just like, what the hell, man? Like, hold the ball up, know what you're going to do with it. Just think about it. But no, he didn't. And for that reason, he wasn't great today. But you know what? Still love the BFG, mate. I do. And
so do I.
Hopefully come good in the next games.
Yeah, no, and with a bit of service. Imagine. Let's talk about the subs quickly. I thought Wilson was outrageously good when he came on. I think you can only mark him in accordance to the time they were on the pitch. I think it's a clear 8 from me for Wilson.
You've missed Bowen, by the way, because he started. Oh, captain. Yeah.
So Bowen, poor first half, great second half, 7.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. I would say the same. He was very quiet in the
great
first
take. Yeah, let's mark him up for the goal, because he won the game really through taking that goal first time. So let's give him. I'm inclined to give him a 7.5 or an 8. What do you reckon?
You can't fault his work rate with Bowen. That's the thing. Even though he wasn't particularly great in the first half, he was still working hard. He always works hard. That's the one thing you can't dispute with him, right? You can't question his work rate. So I think it's fair to give him at least a 7 in every game, pretty much, because he's always a 7 out of 10 player, bare minimum. He is, just purely down to his work rate. But yeah, that finish was. I mean, it was a great finish, wasn't it? First time.
Bowen's goal was worth a 9. Yeah, it was. It won the game. And this is what Brian says here. I'm inclined to do this for Wilson, because we didn't expect that out of Wilson, did we? Not one little bit.
I don't know. I mean,
I did.
He's a goal scorer. I'm not saying I expected of him when he came on the pitch today, but what I will say is that he is a very good striker, and he's proved it over the years. His goal scoring record is exceptional. So do I think that he will score goals?
I thought he'd be really slow, Chris, and he ain't really slow. He ain't like completely.
But Gal, he's not really fast either. And don't forget, he's also coming on at a time where the defense is tiring as well. And some of their centre halves don't have a particularly great deal of pace either. So I'm not necessarily going to say I don't think he's fast at all. He's not.
Not fast, but not as pace. Not fast, just not as slow as I thought he would be.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought he'd be treading water. He ain't.
He was brilliant today. Honestly, he was brilliant. I would say he's brilliant because he created chances out of nothing. He had 3 chances, 2 that he created for himself, three of them all on target, and he scored a goal. Perfect execution, hold up play, very, very good. Offered more than Füllkrug did, for the entire game. So yeah, for me, I can't believe I'm saying it's funny because when we're walking out the ground, we're all singing like there's one Callum Wilson, all this stuff, right? I couldn't believe I was in my ears. Like, can you believe that? Like, seriously, like, honestly, we're singing Callum Wilson songs.
Must feel very sweet to him, though. Must feel very sweet for him for that.
It felt surreal as a fan to be hearing us singing about Callum Wilson after all the damage he's caused us over the years. But fair play to the guy. He's a West Ham player now, and you know what? If he scores goals, mate, fucking hell, crack on, mate. Love it.
Exactly. It's what we said from the beginning, right? Pull on the shirt, get supported in it.
Exactly.
Irving, I think it's a fair score from Dave here, 7.5 for Irving.
I wouldn't give him that. I mean, that's quite kind, Dave. I'd give him a 7. I mean, he weren't on a pitch that long, but he did well. He was effective. But yeah, it's hard, isn't it, with substitutes, because when they haven't played a huge amount of the game, to kind of score them a 7 or an 8 or whatever it is, or
it's a different circumstance, isn't it? Because they're playing against a tired defence, so you can't. Yeah. So
we're going to come to Crescencio Somerville.
Yes. Now, Crescencio Somerville, that can be no less than a 9. He's set up 2, and he's got 2 assists, 1 for the pen and the first goal, and he got pre-assist for the third. How can he have less than a 9?
Yeah, I'm with you. He was actually, we talk about Bowen's goal winning the game. Without Somerville coming on the pitch, we don't win that game.
We don't win the game.
He was the difference. He was the difference. I mean, he had their full back on toast, mate. Seriously, he was a bit. You give him that much space to run into, he's going to cause you damage. He will. No one wants to see a nippy little fucker like Somerville running out. And he done that. And he was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant today when he came on, and it excites me to think what he can bring. When he starts getting fully fit again, it really does.
Yeah. And finally, the final score is for the manager, Graham Potter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give him. I don't think I can give him less than a 9 out of 10 today, because he got the formation right, he got the selection bang on, he got the substitutions perfectly timed, he got the strategy and the plan bang on, right? Because it really limited Forest's chances to almost nothing.
Well, look, Al, we played the right formation that we've been calling out for when he could have played 3 at the back, that we've already said. Could have played Tadiba. He didn't do that. We've won a game 3-0. We have a clean sheet. Substitutions that you already kind of mentioned already. Somerville, perfect timing. He came on, destroyed them. Wilson coming on, scoring a goal. Irving coming on, having a very, very good game. I mean, Christ Almighty, I think it'd be incredibly unfair to squim lower than a 9 today. You can't say 10 because 10 means perfection. So I'm going to say, I'm with you on this. I'd say give him a 9. He deserves a bit of credit, and hopefully it takes the pressure off him a little bit, and he can enjoy this job a little bit as well, because you want him to enjoy it, right? You don't want to manage to be constantly stressed out of the dugout all the time and whatever, right? And getting loads of heat from the media. I'm hoping that this will be, hopefully you can turn a corner here, because we've all been on him, mate. We were saying Potter out last week, and I'm not going to change my mind based off of one game, but I will back him 100%. That's it. I will back him while he's still manager, and I'm hoping that he can continue in this vein in the next game against Spurs. That's it.
And prediction for Spurs? What do you reckon? Do you reckon we're going to do?
Oh, I don't know, mate. I mean, look, it's 2 weeks, Gal. I just want to enjoy today. Can we talk about Spurs later?
We do that in a few weeks' time. Yeah. So let's go back to your original question then. By the way, 3-0 to us. Let's go back to your original question before we finish. How many players, and we'll do a show tomorrow, maybe a couple of shows tomorrow for the last day of transfer window, because I do believe there's going to be a lot of activity. I think we kind of know who's a possible to come in and who's a possible to go out. Not Paqueta, as I said. So, which makes me feel a whole lot better, by the way. How many players in total are we going to sign? That's the question. So I'm going to go for 2.
Yeah, I'll go with 2 as well. I think 3 is probably over-egging it. I'd love it to be 3, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think 2 at a push. So I'm with you on that as well. I'd be absolutely distraught if we brought in none. Honestly, I would be distraught. That would really piss me off. It would. But I'm hoping that won't be the case.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
We need another defender, Gal, and we need a striker, in my opinion. If we can get that young lad due, or we
need another midfielder as well. We need another midfielder as well. We can't be, when someone gets injured, defaulting back to Ward-Prowse or to, you know what I mean? We can't.
You say another midfielder, right? Don't forget, we've got Magassa, we've got Ward-Prowse, we've got so Guido will go. We've obviously got Fernandes and we've got Magassa coming in.
Yeah.
We've still got JWP, not that I'm really saying that's a good thing. Suchek. We've got a number of midfielders in there. We've still got Potsy in there as well, Gal, that should hopefully will be getting game time. So is midfield, here's the thing, right? Is midfield more of a priority right now, bearing in mind the signings that we've made in the last 48 hours compared to maybe a striker or a defender? What do you think? What would you rather assign now? Would you rather, if I was to say to you, Gal, we're only going to sign one more player between now and the end of the window, what position would you want that player to be playing in?
You know what? I'm torn between centre half because we need another centre half and striker.
Yeah, me too. Well, I think for me, yeah, it's hard, isn't it? So for me, if we're only going to bring in two players, genuinely, I would say defender, centre half, and a striker. Not a midfielder now because we've signed two, and I'm hoping that will help us a lot.
But when we build this new, I'm convinced that Potsy, you can't put him in at the moment because he can't be the one bringing the legs to midfield. You put him in a good midfield, he will mature like a fine wine and become a useful player. I'm sure of it. Right. So he should be the backup, in my opinion.
Well, if you imagine you playing with Fernandes, or you're playing, I don't know how good Magassa is or how good he's going to be for us, but maybe he could work really well with those players. We just don't know, do we, at the moment? But there are options, which is great. There are options. But yeah, I think striker and defender for me. If it was two players and it was only two players, I'd say definitely a striker and a young striker. By the way, I'd rather us sign. Actually, thinking about this, if it's a toss-up between Jew or Boniface, I'd rather take Jew. I mean, he's got a goal scoring record of 1 in 2. I know it's in the Danish Super League, whatever, but he's young. He's got he's got time to develop and grow and blah blah blah. It gives us kind of competition for places up front. Boniface, yes, I think he's probably a better player right now, but there's the injury concern over him. So I'd like to take maybe a bit of a punt on this Jew guy. That sounds pretty racist. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So anyway, look, I think we're done. Thank you. Thanks, Chris, for rushing back and making the show.
Mate, I'm delighted, mate. This is a genuine pleasure for me to talk so positively about a game. It really is. Being
a fan's all about, right? And going to games, it's days like this. I'm jealous, actually. The fact you had my tickets pissed me right off.
Well, shout out to Jim Grant and to Chris for that, by the way, as well. Really appreciate that. And it was an awesome day. And it's funny because I did say this on the video I did the other day. It's like so typical West Ham, isn't it? Yeah. To lose games that you expect to win, but win games you almost expect to lose. That is West Ham all over.
That is the West Ham way. That is the West Ham way. It is. Growing up, we could always do that. That is, to me, the West Ham way. Growing up, going down to Upton Park, you knew you could beat anyone on your day, right? Yeah. You knew you could. But exactly what you said.
As long as the work rate's there,
absolute shit, right?
As long as the work rate's there. Yeah, then there's always that chance. I mean, we're not talking about crap players. We've got a good squad of players. Yeah. And if they turn it on and their focus is right, the chemistry is right, the work rate is right, everyone's pulling in the right direction and doing the jobs that they're asked to do, then there's always a chance that you should be able to get something out of it. I mean, look at Man City. They're losing games right now. Look at Villa. They're losing games right now. I must say, when you look at some of the results in the Premier League so far this season, there's a lot of mixed results there. Like, no one would have expected West Ham to beat Forest 3-0 today. No one would have expected Villa did they lose 3-0 to Palace? No one would have expected some of these results. I don't know the result of the Arsenal game. I've no idea what it is. I was driving. No idea at all. No. But there are a lot of results that you wouldn't necessarily call. You wouldn't.
Will John Victor make it? I think we do need another. Well, I think we're trying to sign another keeper because Areola wants to go. Right? Sorry, John Victor signed for Forest. How many players are they signing?
Has he? Is he really?
He's a mad Greek, that one. He's signing everyone. They had like 5 new signings on the bench, didn't they? It's mad. It's mad.
To be fair to the guy, he does stick his hand in his pocket, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does. But he wants to pound the flesh, as Nuno's going to find out, right? So, look, I think what we're going to finish on is a few videos that you've taken today, Chris, and an amazing photo. Amazing photo of Lucas Paqueta. I'm going to put it in the background now, actually. Standing the one holding the badge. What a beautiful photo. But anyway, I'll get us off the screen.
Putting the phone down as well.
Yeah, love it. Exactly. But thank you all for watching. Thanks for all your lovely comments in the chat. Claire, thanks for keeping all that. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. the Bobby Moore Stand here on YouTube. Give the video a like and hit the bell notification icon. Until next time, let me find a video. And
Come on, you
see
irons.
you soon. And come on, you irons.
Oi, 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 oi.